So once you install the studio, after that you can go to help, welcome. So if you're able to understand this, then you will be able to understand the existing integrations, like how we develop all the integrations in Workday. And here you will get to know about the various components uses as well. Yeah, this is one integration which is delivered by Workday, and here most of the components which we use on a regular basis, which will be shown here. Okay, so before we continue this in Workday Studio, so first we get to know, we need to understand what is all these components and these sections are being called. So on left side, this box, it is Project Explorer, where we have the project assembly. Okay, this one is where connections are being established. So the Cloud Explorer.
So what is sync mediation? Sync mediation and async mediation.
Yes, I'll come back on that. This one is where assembly we can view. Okay, and this is our properties. Like for any component, we can view what are the details, what are the options of for this. Mostly we work on the properties tab in this. Next we have, if you do not see any view, you can just go to window, show view, and then view that. So another one is schema explorer. So in schema explorer, we can just explore the web services. For that you need to connect to tenant and then only you can see. But I think there are some already delivered by Workday which we can see here. So finish.
So how you know which web services you have to use?
Hmm. So that we can get to know from Workday community page. No, everyone. This is a public page.
Can
This,
you send me community.workday?
yeah.
Dot com.
But this is public page. You can see without credential, I am logged in to this. This you'll reach
Okay.
here,
Okay.
and then these are the web services of like human resources. When you click on this, it will open a new. So under human resources, you will see first you first go through the description.
Hmm.
Okay, 1 second. I Yep. What is this being used for? And then in human resource, what are the web service operations we need? For example, get workers.
So get workers is to get workers from outside into Workday.
No, from Workday to outside.
So
Outbound
put
for
workers
outbound
is
integrations.
to okay. Put workers is from outside to Workday, right?
Yeah, no, from extracting from Workday details.
No, no. Get workers is to extract workers from Workday.
Yes.
Put workers.
We don't have anything like put workers, but we have like hire employee.
Okay, hire employee. Okay.
Hmm. Yes. That is not here in this, but we have that in staffing.
Staffing service. Okay.
Yep.
So is this SOAP service or this one REST service?
SOAP web service. Yeah.
So how do you know
Okay.
that? Like, how do you differentiate SOAP services or REST services?
How do I differentiate whether it's SOAP service or?
REST service. How do you know it's a SOAP or REST?
Okay, so REST we say when it is being called from report. When we use any report, custom report as a web service, then only we call it REST
So whatever you get it from Workday tenant into, you call it in Studio, that is called REST service, right?
web service. But in Studio we can call report also. So we can call using REST as well.
Okay.
Okay, okay. And if you want to see all the web services,
So
whatever
all these,
possible,
whatever you're showing, all these are SOAP services?
yes,
Okay. So
yeah.
whatever is
And
there in Schema Explorer, right? The tab. So
mhm,
those are all SOAP services, right?
you will see this. Yes, yes, you will see this only.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you want to know what are the operations, what are the web services, for example, either it's get workers or hire employee
Mm-hmm.
or any payroll related. So you just need to go to the operations directory here.
Okay.
So after you search on the Google, then you'll find the first link as this. Then you click on operations directory, then it will open this only. So here in this common link, you will find everything like
Okay.
payroll related.
Okay.
So whatever you'll get after clicking on these individual links, all those you can find here as well listed under
Okay.
operations directory. Okay, let me come back to studio now. Okay, so in studio integration, every data flow happens through messages. Okay, so whatever message we receive at the starting, and then we process as per our need, and then we store or output based on that. Okay, and at any point of time in studio integration, we have only one message, but we can just reformat the message in between at different times, and we can split, we can process, we can manipulate the data, and in between if we need to store the data into some variable, so we can use variables as well. So this is very simple common uses pattern. You can see here that in studio it will an integration will start from workday component. Okay, so this is the starting point for any integration, where in the advanced tab we can just give the integration name, simple processing chain. This is the name of the integration. So once you deploy this integration into the tenant, you will see integration with this name. Okay, and launch parameter, if you want to provide some input from the users, then you can configure those. So I'll show you some of these as well. And in services, there are some various services we have. For example, if you have noticed in co-connectors, like we have attribute map service, some integration services, sorry, some integration maps are there, services are there for mappings, it attribute and maps, so we can configure those things here. All these will be custom services, right? In co-connector, we have these delivered. Similarly, if you want to deliver the files, whatever created, so you have delivery
So
service.
you
Yeah,
take this delivery service, configure it in business process, right?
yes. So
Okay.
you just create a service here, but you configure it in tenant.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So how do you
So
call report into Studio?
yeah, that I'll come back on that. Yes. So this is very simple studio integration, where this is the workday component. Then we have this is called async mediation. You can find all these components here in the palette section. So You can see this in component section. We have async mediation, sync mediation, root splitter aggregator. So
So what is a
here
sync
this
mediation?
one is, this is sync mediation and this is async mediation. So the difference is one thing, both of these are different integration, both are having a different worked-in component. So it's in whole it is called assembly, and any assembly can have more than one integrations, and more than one integration can, we can say, only by counting number of worked-in components. So each worked-in component means one integration. So this is one integration, this is second integration, but all both of these are in same studio assembly. Okay,
Okay, you
so
can have multiple integrations, same assembly.
yes, that is correct. Now,
Okay.
the question that async mediation and sync mediation. So actually integration runs from left to right and top to bottom order. Okay. So here in
Okay.
this kind, in this processing, what's going on? Left to right is going continuously. So it is using this
Is there any
right.
anything we can explain to you? Like if they say like it will process from left to right, mm, it won't be good, right? Is there any technical term to explain async mediation in interview?
I I don't think. But okay, I'll try to explain again. Wait. So so please see this first, then I'll come back on that
Yeah.
question.
Okay.
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 Yeah. So here you can see that student integration is going in a sequential manner. Okay. That whatever message being created by this write component, in write component, what will happen, that whatever you write here. So suppose there was some other message before this, so it will overwrite that, and this is our new message. Okay. So what will happen? This whatever content is present here, if you go to message, input and output. So what it will do, whatever input message was coming, it will change that message and store into the again message only. So now the message content is this. Suppose before this there was a another component. This is log, but there is one more. So so whatever in this write message we have test message. If you try to print that write whatever current content it has, we can print it by using the log message, and it will print that in the server log in every integration. Okay, but after that, till this point of moment, we have the message content as test message, but after this executes, it will change it to this message. And I told you that at any point of time there will be only one message. So if I try to put another log here and try to print the value of the message, now it will print this message rather than this message. After that, we
Okay.
have XSLT to transform the whatever input message we have. So XSLT, what it will do, it will take the input message whatever it has, then it will transform the message again. So what does it mean? Whatever message we have, what is the message? It has a message root node, it has payload with a string, correct? It will transform that. So let's see what is inside XSLT. So XSLT is used for transforming the data. Whatever input message, XML message we have, we may have to change it to another XML or another text. So we can
Correct.
use the XSLT transformation there. So you can see here what it is doing. It is going to template match message. Then it is printing the payload. So message content will change to transform message, and then the message content will be there in this tag. Okay,
Okay.
and then value of select means the value of this will print. I hope you know XSLT. I'm not going to much details. So this value will be replaced there. Now if I try to print this message, if I put another log here, and for understanding, suppose we put a text here that this log is after XSLT. So now at once you run the integration, so you will see that after this XSLT, the message content has been replaced by output of XSLT, which will be like this: transform message, transform payload, and then the value.
Okay.
This is how it goes. But so this is when we are just going through it, but we are but suppose whatever you are processing, you need to feedback the response. Okay, for example, in this Workday Studio assembly, one second. Yeah. So in this Workday Studio assembly, this is a request. Right, in write message, we are sending a request here, which is get workers request. This is the way we call a Workday web service. We first prepare a web service here, dynamically pass on the parameters, and using this Workday out soap component, which you can find here under the out transport, you can see Workday out soap, Workday out rest. This is for recalling the report. This is for calling the web services, Workday out soap. So you can see that in this request, this is just text format currently. It is not being called. It is only being called by this. So whatever response we receive from call get workers, which is Workday out rest soap component, that response will be sent back to it. This is our sync mediation. So it's like we are getting back the response to process. But if you want to do the same thing using the sync mediation, then you need to have these two components after this Workday outsop like this. So both are
Okay.
same thing.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Can you come again with this request response mediation component? Uh,
You can execute the Workday web services by Workday outsop component. Okay. But
okay.
before calling that, you need to prepare the web service with appropriate parameters.
So in sync mediation, every time we use soap services, soap web
Yes.
services.
Yes. Sync or
Oh, okay.
async, anything is fine. You can do here as well.
Okay.
This
Okay.
write can be here as well. So
Yeah, okay.
this is also same thing. It will do the same thing. If we have same, we have a sync mediation. We call a write. In this write, we are calling the Workday get workers web service. Then we are calling this Workday out soap to execute it, and then we are processing it and then storing this. Store
So
component
then,
will
what
store
is
the
the
file.
major difference with sync and async mediation?
We are
Um,
feeding back the response here.
so in async mediation also, we have the option to request response, right? Soap services.
Yes, we have.
Okay.
So it's like you are sending it back the response, so it will go back here and process. So but it it will improve your visibility as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can handle all kind of error. You can do all kind of error
So
handling
in
in this
real
one
time,
component.
how frequently we use this sync mediation?
Comparatively less, mostly when we need to process the response.
Can you give
then
me
only
some
we use.
real-time
Yeah,
scenario?
this one is one of the example. Then we are calling a web service. Then we need to process the output of it.
So in this web service, what you are getting?
Get workers details. For example, whatever. So if you go and check the launch parameter, so here they have the launch parameter is employee ID.
Yeah.
Okay, this employee ID we are passing this as lp dot get reference data. Why get reference data? Because it is of type ref um, object employee type reference. It is not a text or simple type. So lp dot get reference data. Then we are passing the reference ID type, which is employee underscore ID, and this is the
Okay.
name of the launch parameter, employee
Okay.
underscore employee space ID. So this is the way we call it, lp dot get reference data, and then using this employee ID, we want to extract person information, employment information, okay,
Okay.
for that employee. So
Okay.
this is the request we prepared. After that, workday soap will execute it in tenant, and it will feedback the response in the same component.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this is, so
So
it will
what's
work
the
like left to right
in
and then top to bottom.
in interview? What can we say? What is the definition we can say for the sync mediation?
Okay, so before we continue, one thing which I want to show you. So if you have any doubt regarding any component, you just click on that and then click on this help icon, and then you can see more details here. What is that particular component is needed for, and what are the properties, what are the options are there. In interview, you can say that whenever we need to feedback the response from the subsequent assembly, then we use
Whenever,
this.
let me
Yeah,
let me write it
think
down. Whenever we need feedback
the
from
response of subassembly.
the okay subassembly.
Yeah, we need to use this. Anyways, you are recording this session, so you can note it down later
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
Okay, yeah, yeah, correct.
Okay. So sync async mediation, sync mediation, simple. Uh, Sync mediation can do all these things as well, but now in this one, it will be taking less space, and in the single component itself, we can do all the error handling as well. So that is
Okay.
another benefit. Yeah. Anyways, you just go through the properties, and then you will understand what are these used for. Support to processing chain, which you can populate with steps, define request message, request response. It supports one processing chain, which you can populate the steps, define request. So here you can just do request, but here you can process the response message also. You can get the response and process within the same component.
Okay.
But there for response, you need another synchronization. So you need to then, okay.
Mm, okay.
Next, so what you need to do to understand in a better way, you need to deploy this integration in Workday tenant, and then only then you launch it, and then you'll understand what is going on. For your
Okay.
understanding purpose, you can put logs in between, okay, and some text messages that which log is for what and what place. Then you will understand that. But do you have Workday tenant?
Um, I don't have right now, but previously I have it. I'll check it out
Hmm.
later. Okay.
Yeah.
I think there is refresh is going on. Now I don't have it.
Okay. Yeah, I can.